It's the final few seconds before the lights go out, and the race to the podium begins. You know this battle will be won off the track as well as on it. You've studied your tactics, anticipated every move like a grandmaster. You've researched and analysed, modified and fine-tuned to perfection. You have honed your instincts to give you an edge over your rivals. Your drivers focused, your team ready. The championship in the balance. First past the checkered flag, the goal. Epic victory or ultimate failure. There is only a heartbeat between them. MotorSport Manager. Take control.
Right, welcome back to Snail Place Racing using MotorSport Manager, and we will go on to our next race, which is Milan. This is my own base team, self-made team, using the ICE18 Mod. We might as well just go and bomb off to the next one. We've got a few bits which are going on, but nothing too worrying. Now we are making a loss every race at the moment, which isn't quite so good, so we do need to finish. Someone has to finish in the top 11 in both race and qualifying, which is not going to be easy, part of it. Now, at the Singapore Grand Prix, I am going to take one of these out and put the reserve driver in. Now, I'm not certain as yet which one, a bit of one is doing best. Afraid at the moment it looks like it could be Charles Leclerc who loses out now. But given Leclerc has given Lando the second best engine here. No, that's the second best engine. Looking at that wrong. I was looking at the reliability. Reliability isn't brilliant, but that's the best we can do now. Now, who do we give this to? He's already got a better one than Norris, so Norris better have this one. That's all we can change at the moment. We'll have to watch, where is it? I think it's engine, brakes and front wings are liable to break in this race. Well, we should get away with front wings, just brakes, just engine. Bit more doubtful whether Norris's engine will keep going without problems, but we will try. Alright, so let's make our way to Milan. Now, this is a high-speed circuit. I don't really expect to do much here. It's engine, and more engine. Really, brakes are important, but I think you look at this circuit. Especially the layout we've got here, there's only, there's two long straights. One has got a chicane in it, but it's not really a slow chicane. And the rest of it, even the bends are high speed, or relatively high speed. So it's got, everything's onto engine. The engine here is one of the worst on the grid. But we can't have everything, so let's see what we've got as we get ready for practice. Just wait for it to everything to load in. Here we are. Well, we're gonna use the feedback from these two. I'm gonna use Bert. As you can see, Lando's only 3.5 stars, but you do better on Leclerc, who's a full 4-star. But Bert is 4 and a bit stars, so I think I need to get him in. May even be before him. I know that Stu wants me to get him in there fairly quick, but I'm one of these people who don't like upsetting my drivers much. Let's have a look, see if we can find Milan Track C down there. Milan Track C, there we are. Try that. Tyre choice, well, we're going to go with mediums first, get those done. Looks like it's going to be dry for most of the thing. It should be really Italy, relatively dry climate. Let's try that one in, and let's see if we've got them both on a setup. I'm going to do my normal 1 lap and in until we get the setup right. Then I'll let them do longer stints. I want them on qualifying 4, set for 4 laps, but he won't do 4 laps. And Leclerc is also set up for qualifying. If I should be as efficient as possible on that, I'd leave him on that, but efficiency and me are not, well, don't exactly go together now. So Leclerc is coming out second, so I was just clicking both to bring them in. Now you don't get that long on these. These are a short lap. You can see that that's a very high speed circuit. Even the bends, as I say, ain't that bad. He's a long way out. So what we do is we load them in the other setup and just see what that does, see if that improves things any. If it's going the right way, we can adjust, we micro adjust after this lap. No, handling is spot on here, so we don't really want to upset the handle on Leclerc's. Speed balance isn't bad either, but downforce is fairly awful. If I remember right, it's not too much downforce needed on this one. Oh, I don't want the handling there, I want the handling. Put them that way. Wrong way. Right, we'll try them there. Now, downforce will probably have to be moved some more, but we'll cross that bridge after this next lap. Now I use practice for just that. It's practices for setting the cars up and letting the drivers get a look at the circuit. They will get a good look. It's a long practice time. 25 minutes I think practice on this. It is quite a long time now. Leclerc's got out second again. Now we'll follow Verts round again. As you can see, it's a terribly high speed and rather boring circuit, to be honest. Not a lot of interest. Well, that looks a bit better. We've now got the downforce is spot on. We're not going to get that any better. We've gone the right way on the handling, so we'll go a bit more on the handling there. Just try that. And we haven't made much difference with the speed. Now I'm going to take a chance and go up quite high up on there. And so I think it really is a fast circuit. Now how's Leclerc doing? If he's 97 or better, he's 97 or better. Well, I was going to leave him alone, but we could just tweak that very slightly. And I think with that, I'm going to take that is good. And I'm going to give him 4 laps straight off. I might have just tweaked him a bit better, or of course I could have even made him worse, but I'm just going to let Leclerc do some laps, and he can get some laps under his belt, get the knowledge and the tyre knowledge on the circuit up to spec. As we get Vert set up, now he's a long way out on speed. Now it looks like we did go the wrong way, didn't we? By a lot. Yes, we did. So actually, everything else isn't so bad. I'm going to leave handling where it is. I'm just going to try and get this to try about there. Let's see what happens. Now that's on. I'm looking at handling at the moment. That's okay. And no speed. Yeah, everything's... Yeah, we're going to try him there. We'll give him one more lap before we let him loose properly. It's the one thing I had to do on here as a compromise. Is you can't have proper separate setups for each driver. Because no, you couldn't bring your reserve driver in to do some practice. No, the clerk's up to 17th in the standings at the moment. And that's better. I'm going to leave. I think my best bet there is to leave well alone. So he can go out now until we get, well, it won't be many laps, so he might get one full flying lap in. So it looks like we're about to change over to look at qualifying. I'll try and let Verts have one anyway, just now we're there, so I'll bring in Leclerc. I'm going to let Verts have a full flying lap. I think it's only fair. Just so he can get some practice in. Oh, we've got that up to 98 too, so I don't think we can complain that. Alright, stints, no qualifying. Maximum amount of qualifying we're allowed, which is 3 laps. Soft tyres on now, because we know everything there is to know about those, and we're bringing Verts as well now. And the clerk's out there. Oh, well. I think the guy we're leaving well alone. We could attempt to get it better, but I think we're far better off now getting some laps under our belt. As far as Leclerc running for a lap 2, he's doing the better of the two at the moment in practice. Up to 14th. I forget, I think it's got to be 11th or better to get the thing, but not in practice, it's in qualifying. In qualifying we are always bad. Fourteenth and 15th, well that's consistent between the two drivers, and that's Leclerc's last time. So this stint has got to 10th. So he'll be coming this time. Verts is on his last lap as well. Now don't do what I normally do unless we get to put the laps up. And we're going to leave the tyres alone. I'm not worried about outright speed at the moment. Speed is immaterial really. The main thing at the moment is to get the car set up right. And we take him out. Well, just on there. Well, can't do much more now. I could attempt, to be honest, I could attempt to get the setup slightly better, but I'm not going to. Now on maximum knowledge, we've got 9 minutes to go. So this is, once you get to this sort of number of laps, it's quite easy to do it. When you get 25 minutes, you should on most circuits be able to get maximum on everything. Verts don't seem to like his first flying laps so much. Yeah, what I'm going to do is bring him in, go times 12, well, keep him going out then, but go up to times 12, we're not going to learn anything else now. Both in, oh they're all finished, well 11th and 15th, yeah 11th, 15th, well might drop a few more because there's still people out there. I'd like to do another flying lap, but you're not going to. And I am unanimous in that. And we're now in the final minute. We could, as I say, could try and get those better, but that way leads to madness, I find. Get 97 or better, and you're not gonna be far out. Well, I'm happy with that 11:15. See if anything. Doesn't like Charles Wirtz, Callan Hassel. Perhaps his mum is a very good driver. She might be a racing driver, for all we know. Yeah, it may not be the put down it sounds. No, we've got to get 11 or better. Now I'm going to, as I always do, simulate this bit because I don't like. I can't better what the computer will do for me. I have tried. Boy, have I tried. I'm a right little trier. Yeah, we go with just standard. We've got it as best we can. Car set we leave well alone, yeah. And we will simulate. And we're going times 40 on simulation. We always drop well down here. We never finish much above the last couple of places on the grid. But well, Leclerc's doing better than I expected. He's actually 19th at the moment. Well, 18th and 20th. We missed these sponsors. That's half the sponsorship money gone. That's why I don't like that system. But that's not so bad. It's a race that really counts. As if anybody mentions us. Yeah, pressure's on Snowpost race after a week qualifying session. They wouldn't expect it to be that far down. Oh dear, oh dear. And I've got to spend less on helicopters and jacuzzis and more on your cars. Oh well, everybody's a critic. Oh great, and we've got a wet race. What a wet start anyway. It's gonna be a wet race. I think I'm going to go intermediate and stay on them. If you look, sort of the third slot in, down on the bottom there, that would be just about enough for wet tyres, but that's the only bit there. Be interesting to see how it goes on after this. So we're going to have race trim. I don't think the tyres are going to make too much difference, so I'm going to put him onto nurse. Just to make sure this car lasts a bit now. Now, it's got engine expert, so I'm going to put him on there. Because we know that, well, was that around half the race, over half the race, it's going to be wet. So tyres are not going to be as important. Certainly not the tyres we practiced on. And I don't think there's anything else we can do there. We leave well alone. Those tyres are ones we've got to go with. Just one thing I want to check, how long roughly will they last? 39 to 41 laps. If it stays wet all the race, one stop, which doesn't play too well for us, to be honest. We tend to do slightly better when there's more stops. Remember, there's no refueling. This is an all-electric championship. It may not look like it, but it is. Alright, there we go. It's just a matter. That's everybody must be on in this. Yeah. John Eric Byrne is a long way back for this class, right? Let's go. We are on Norris at the moment. He's the one that's been doing best, so we'll watch him for a while. With all that As we go at the moment, the clerk is a long way ahead of me. This is a bit I hate. I understand it adds more excitement and more variables to the race, but I find that my poor little brain trying to stick with when to let a burst go, when to put your extra power save into fuel save, and but we're 15th and 21st at the moment, and I better watch these tyres in the warm up. So far so good. No, I'll go to half a lap in deficit on, in this case, on electricity, of course, on power. Oh yeah, that's going to be wet all the way through. I don't expect to even hit the sponsor's objective if it stays wet all the way. Just knock the tyres fully back, keep my boat where they are now on each car. That's what I dislike of this. You put that on and it's a go fast, and hello, here come Norris is making his run now. Yes, I've got a feeling it's going to be Norris and Verts for Singapore on. And the first 10 score points. Need to finish the first 11 to get some extra money. If not, it's going to be rather a large loss. We will run out of money just before the British Grand Prix, I believe. Not the best time to run out of money, especially when trying to show off to your home crowd. Oh dear. The clerk's gone again. He took off again. He is fighting to hold on to his drive. Doesn't mean I'm going to sack the clerk, it just means he's going to go down as reserve driver. Once he puts Norris in, he's a pay driver. He pays us to drive. Now hopefully the nurse which I've got on here will keep the whole car okay, and on this one it's just the engine which should stay okay, everything else is going to wear normally. Don't think anybody's pitted yet, I haven't really noticed a bit earlier as yet. Oh, as soon as it's knocked the power down a bit on the amount of power we're turning down about now. And let's have a look. Yeah, it's almost at the point where they're going to start complaining saying it's dry out there, but it's going to get wet again. It looks like from about lap 34 on, somewhere around there, it's going to be dry, in which case we will put slicks on before it actually gets fully dry. The reason is if we can get the slicks on before the others, then who are slow to get the slicks on, we're going to gain on. We're going to lose a little bit if the track isn't quite dry enough for slicks, but you can get away with it with a small amount of moisture on, in this game anyway. Real life I don't know. The only how race bikes in the wet, but we use the same tyres, wet or dry. We just went a damn sight slower in the wet, or some of us did, self-included. Even slower if it's hailing or snowing at the time. Hell, we were Iron Men in those days. We didn't stop for rain, hail or snow. Norris cannot really get sniffing on anything above. And both of these are going to be running their tyres out before most of the others. And they're not going to make it. And not going to get over the hump, so we're going to have to make 2 stops. That's a pity. Still, we have got one of the best pit crews in the game. And they're going to earn the salt today. I'm going to run these tyres as long as I can, just on the off chance that might just get a little bit better. A bit sooner than it says. This is on the forecast. Oh, Lando's got worn tyres. How far away is Leclerc? About there. Just give them till they turn red. Norris at the moment is on 26. And don't bring him in on the same that Norris will come in first. No one else as yet has gone in. It looks like we're just being lapped. That's a bit quick. No, 19. Norris doing 19. I'm going to have to pit him this time round. I'm just watching there. And he will have to go on. There's no way he can get over there. He's going to do about 5 or 6 laps and have to pit again. These tyres are not going to last. Let's have a look at past conditions. Fine, recharge the battery. Yeah, we can give a full charge up. Balance, pit stop. And here he comes in. And he's just back out there in last place. And we had a loose. Oh no. He's got a loose wheel nut. We'll have to watch Leclerc and pit him this time round. Oh right. He's got real problems there. Right. Well, this is Leclerc's chance to get more points before the Singapore Grand Prix. Now, will he take it? Let's have a look at action. He's going to have to pit. Well, if he's pitted already, I'm going to put him out once. Oh, you can't even do that. Have to go out again. Oh. I'm going to give him one bit of charge there. Norris is in real trouble now. Well, that's Norris's race run, so it's no good to keep an eye on him anymore. Because he is 51 seconds behind the driver in 23rd place, so it's up to Leclerc now, who's now in 19th, and someone will come in and put... Well, that tyres ain't quite going to last, I wouldn't have thought. I'm going to give Leclerc another lap, then I'm bringing him in for tyres. No, it's a case I may well have misjudged there. But I don't think I could have got round, finished the race on one set of slicks, so one more lap. I have to give him another lap now. I missed his chance. And Norris is going to have to come in again. It's been a terrible race for Norris. Right, I'm putting him out on those. He's 27 laps. Yep, he will get round on those. Charge battery, one charge there. And let's hope we don't get any problems on that. Right, I'm going to bring him in. Put him out. I'm going to give him one charge again, because I don't know exactly where on the track he is. Oh, he's there. He could have 2 charges in. Alright, let's follow Leclerc, because he's only 45 seconds behind. Now he is actually caught up a bit. Now we've got plenty of par to play with. That's where, well, certainly Norris, as he's a lap down. I've got a feeling that they're both a lap down. Yeah, not really what we want on this one, guys and goddesses. I've got to hope now, but everybody else is going to have to pit again, and we can get away. Well, we took 2 pit stops, everybody else has 1. Except for Norris is on his 3rd stop. Just knock the tyres back in. I don't want to knock them out. How is Leclerc's car looking anyway? It's not looking so bad. Engine should last out well, and this one, well, Norris's should last very well indeed. He's hardly using it. More and more people lapless. This is not not only lapless, we've also been passed now. This is not a very good racing at all. I told you we wouldn't do well at Milan. It's one of those tracks you want a good engine, and we haven't got a good engine yet. Good engine, good gearbox is what we need for this one, and brakes are quite handy too, but not as handy as the engine. Oh well, Goujon's going to have to come in soon to pit as is Senna, I would say. And some of those on mediums are going to look like they may have to pit soon. It's going to knock back the tyres a bit more. Oh, there we go again there. No one as yet is showing signs of pitting. Even one, but he's behind us. We've been lapped by so many now that we're not going to pick up into the top 11 no matter what, unless a lot of crashes occur, and it doesn't look like so far there's going to be any crashes at all. Oh, we dropped again to 18th. We can't get off it. Can't stay off at 18th place. And we're at 2 chasing us now. We could drop back to 19. Meanwhile, tripling around the back of the field, Norris is now 39 seconds behind. 39.5 seconds behind the race. Not good at all. Well, most of them are going to pass saving. Pass saving is not our problem. As is actually Norris, for some reason best known to himself. He's got plenty of power. Turn the auto off. Turn that back onto there. He doesn't need any more power, and nor does the clerk. We've got plenty of power at the moment. Power is not the problem. We need a speed. And it looks like those who head to pit are actually pitting and coming out in front of us. Bill John has finished. It's below, behind us. And it looks like those I hope were our mediums are not going to have to pit. Mind you, very few up and close enough to us. But this has been a disaster of a race. Let's get him. So I don't know where he is, but oh dear, he's dropped 50 seconds behind again. In fact, the clerk's come up getting close to lapping Norris. That's going to go down well in the team. Give him a bit of a burst down there. He's up to 16. So loads of power and that we're just not used. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to push the power button a bit more. Now 15 is coming into pit, so we're going to pass him anyway. And Norris has got worn tyres again, and so does the clerk, but so few laps left now that doesn't matter. Told you, final lap just doesn't matter. There's no whether we can actually gain another place. Last lap now, keep the pedal to the metal and hope. 15th and 24th, and that it's going to make it interesting on who goes. With sheer points, Norris is still well in front in that, but he had such a bad race, and pit crew were at fault, of course. The pit crew didn't do a wheel nut up. And the problem is, when I saw the sign come up, it was too late. I had to get the clerk into the pits. That's my excuse anyway. Perhaps I should just go for some dodgy bits on some of the cars. Look at that. Oh dear. Whole lap down from the man in 23rd place. Was that 4 laps off the lead? And the clerk was 2 laps off. Yes, well, you have some work to do. Yeah, there's Dave. Oh, level Lando. Well, I could pass it on, mate, but I don't know if I'd be very interested. Alright, let's just wait to get to the financial screen. It's a bit I'm not looking forward to. I'll do this first anyway. Not going to be good for marketability either, this one. His morale isn't good. His first morale isn't good, but it will improve. You get some price on it, but you look at that. I think he's got to come in. Let's have a look. Marketability minus 10, teammate morale plus 10. I think it's be the same, right? Yeah, marketability minus 5, teammate morale plus 5. And we're only 70 6% mark. Well, let's have a look there. Lost almost 1 million that race. We can't go on and do that very often. Not worried about the results. We know the results are bad. Wait for the save. And yeah, 13th and 17th. It's a tough one. We see what we've got here. Our car is second worst on the grid. Drivers are 10th. Well, third worst drivers. Headquarters third worst. Staff is third best. Sponsors fourth best. And pit crew are the best. At least we got one thing right. No, oh, sorry, I've got to respond. I reject, always do. We had one pit mistake. Oh, well, I quit this pit stop a season. We had amongst that lot. Let's have a look at the pit crew next. Let's get these sorted out. I think, therefore I am, yeah. Let's say about 18 across the board. And I only want about 90 or better. There's only one there. He's not too bad actually. Tyres, front track, red jack, and fixing. He's good on all of them. There we go. Got anybody who isn't that good across the board? Well, he's not that fit. Only 90%, so that let's knock this crew around. Got fourth best at the moment. I want someone on the front jack who is fully fit to go like this one. And rear jack, similar thing. Someone who's fully fit to go. Yeah. Once the jack's done, now we need the tyres. Only 18. Oh, 95, 95. I do. Trying to get the best on the grid again. It's personal now doing that. I think this one head can come out. I'm actually going to take him out. And I'm going to bring in... Oh. Didn't mean to do that, never mind. And I'm going to bring him in. Not the best we could have, but... but he can go straight into there. Now, obviously, if we change that rear jack around accidentally... Because when it does this, it actually looks at how much stamina I've got as well. There we are, first across the board, that'll do. Yep, that'll do. Scouting, well, I don't think there's anybody else worth scouting at the moment. Oh no, we're looking at 40-year-olds. Why are what we want? Alright, let's have a look. We should have lost a sponsor there too, so we hopefully will get talk the devil, more sponsorship. So we have a look at the car repairs. Have a look, see what we've got here. Now the next one is gearbox, front wing, and suspension. Now suspension we certainly want to do. Oh, and yes, and gearbox needs to be looked at as well. We know that they're not going to be needed, so that can come in there. I was going to say no gearbox, front wings, 78 there. Oh, well, we'll put that on the front wing. One day before the race. We're good with that. Best we can do. In fact, we bring it back to 20 minutes after the race. We will get a little bit of performance put into the bits. So look at the sponsors. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want either of these. Second or above, no, I hope in hell. I don't like them anyway, so I'm going to go for this one. It's 12 million up front, and that's it. 15 races. But that was one of our better sponsors gone. It now means we're going to be making 2.5 million a loss a race. So we can't afford to lose this one. It's actually a poorer one though. We need to get rid of whoever it was who was doing the I know upfront payment. That's one of the reasons we're not doing so well, because we're upfront payments all the time. So we need some more fixed pay per race. At the moment we've got one. We've only got the one fixed race payment. If we get them all over to fixed race payment, we could do a lot better. Right, let's fast forward again and get ready for the next one. 17 days to go. Hello. Prove them wrong. Let's give them that. Doesn't make any difference. My mind's almost made up now. Yeah, everybody can be surprised by that. Yeah, this is the last race before I decide. And we should be able to see, if we look back here, Landau done better in that one, and in that one, and there. But this one, he done a lot worse. So this is the one that's going to be a clincher. If it's a similar result to today's, then Landau will drop to the bench. If it's as the previous three have been, then I'm afraid Leclerc will drop to the bench. There's a whole load of scouting on drivers. I'm not really worried. Most of those are too old for what we want anyway. I'm only really interested in young drivers. That makes me sound like a real pervert. And most of these oh, they were 60 lap race. Oh, well, it's a bit closer to us, I suppose. Oh, a lot of stuff scoured there. 3 days ago. Let's have a quick look at the how we're doing on the parts here. Three days, we're going to change that over, get him up there for a little bit, and we're going to do the same on the suspension. And we'll actually only leave now a couple of 3 things to do, which are really bad. Because your engine isn't good, but I can't afford to do that and everything else. One of the reasons I'm building another factory, or extending our factory at the moment, is so we get more done on the car between races. Not worried about either of those. Still 3 days away. Let's have a look. Race go. No, nothing about us at all. We dropped off the radar, luckily. Where we're going, that's pretty well. Right, so with that, I'm going to say thanks very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. If you're not a subscriber, go on subscribe. I do mainly farm sim and this series, and that's my limit. I'm also one of the few people still playing Farm Sim 17, incidentally. Yes, I'm still a dinosaur. Yeah, that ain't bad. That's not bad at all. They can all come out from doing that with and do the other ones that need doing, and I think we've almost got a part ready. 4 days, yeah. Anyway, any comments, questions, queries, suggestions, feel free to post them in the comment section. I read everyone. I try and reply to everyone. And with that, it's me saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.